Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Gigi of GGmadeit.com. You know, the knitter, the blogger, and the yarn hoe, coming to you with another weekly edition of Confessions of a Yarn Hoe. This week was a good week, right? No drama. Well, I'm still trying to figure out what's going to happen with the car, but this was a good week. This was a good week. So what are we going to talk about? This one's probably not going to be as long, probably a little shorter, but I do have some daily vlogs with my progress on my Frankie sweater. So we will absolutely, positively talk about the Frankie sweater. I have some mail that I received that I would like to share with you guys and talk about that. And that's pretty much it. If I think that's gonna be what I have. So, you ready? I know y'all ready. Let's get it. Okay, so we're going to start with mail. So first I want to start with the Mason-Dixon. You know how I always say I'm not a real knitter. And I say that not necessarily about my skill. I also say that in regards to my level of awareness of the things that the average knitter is aware of. Does that make sense? It doesn't. But at any rate, has it been? It's been 2 years now since I was included in the Mason-Dixon knitting bracket that they do. I think that's in March, right? And my phone was blowing up. Everybody was like, oh my God, Gigi, oh my God, Gigi, you're in the bracket, you're in the March Madness, you're in the, I was like, what are you guys talking about? They was like, Mason-Dixon's bracket. Who's Mason-Dixon? So I'm embarrassed to say that I had no idea who they were. Have since, found out who they were, followed them, get their newsletter, just very much impressed with all that it is that they share and that they provide to the knitting community. I've also had the pleasure of meeting the two of them. That was last year at Rhinebeck. Well, where did I meet them together? They were in, that was Vogue, where I met the two of them together. And Kay and Ann, just thank you for everything that you guys do. I'm being presumptive to assume that you guys watch my little old podcast. But at any rate, thank you guys. So I said all that to say that they reached out to me and said that they wanted to send me their field guide. So here comes another confession. Yes, I followed them. Yes, I see that they have field guides and they put them out often. Did I even have a clue what that was? Right? So I said yes. And I'm so glad that I did say yes, that I was accepting their gifts, because you guys know I got gift issues. But if you are not familiar with their field guides, they are a wealth of information. So they were gracious enough to gift me field guide number 11, which is titled Wanderlust. Wanderlust. So this particular guide is all about socks. All about socks. Guys, did I tell you the other thing that I was a little apprehensive about? Socks. So, have I made socks before? I have. Do I just jump right in and start a pair of socks? I see a sock I like and I just run for it? No. Me doing a sock takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of preparation. It takes a lot of, you could do this, Gigi. So for them to send out this book, I'm saying it here publicly, my next project is a pair of socks. I said it. The next project is a pair of socks. Because if you're like me and you may or may not have done a sock yet and you are a little apprehensive about, should I be doing it toe up or go down from, what is it, top down, toe, start from the toe or heel down, cuff down, or toe up. See, I don't even know the terminology. So I've done both, to be honest with you. I did some shorty socks, cuff down, or did I do them toe up? I don't know. But I know that I've done both. I've also learned that stretchy cast on and bind offs with socks are important, or the socks won't fit over your foot. Yep, I know that. So this book is, if you are interested in socks, this is everything that you need. So I'm just going to give you an idea of the table of contents of this particular book, right? You have an introduction. You have the map of a sock. It goes into cuff down socks. It goes into the Kitchener stitch, right? It tells you about different yarns. It talks about toe up socks, exploring different stitch patterns that'll look nice on, as a design on your sock, exploring panel stitch patterns, socks on the go. It goes into the different abbreviations, and then it says meet Wendy Bernard, and I'm assuming that Wendy is a designer. Hold please. See if I could get to Wendy. Exploring stitch, that's panels, socks on the go. Wendy is a knitwear designer. Yes, she's based out of Southern California. She's, I know Wendy Bernard. Her books are some of my favorite. Wendy Bernard has the books, Up, Down, All Around Stitch Dictionary. Listen, you need that in your life. The Knitting All Around Stitch Dictionary, and she also has a Japanese Stitches Unraveled. Not familiar with that, but let's talk about them up, down, sideways, all around stitches. Listen, it needs to be in your library, simply because I don't call myself a designer, but there's sometimes that, I know in my head the number of stitches I like for a cowl that's fitted to my neck, right? I know the number of stitches. So if I wanted to try a different type of stitch, just to do a little different texture, something different than I've seen, her book is perfect because it gives you a stitch, but it tells you not only how to do it flat, but how to do it in a round. Because, it changes to get that same effect that you do something flat in the round. Oh my God. I didn't even, see, I skim, I don't read. But I plan on reading this from cover to cover, guys, because as I said, my next project will be socks. So, again, Kay and Ann, thank you so much for this gift. If you guys are not familiar, they are Mason-Dixon There's a wealth of information on there. I know for a fact that Dana, who I refer to as the Sweater Whisperer, and who I had the pleasure of finally meeting this weekend, does a column on their website once a month, I believe it is. So there's a wealth of information. And I tell people all the time, if you are like me with the sweater thing and think you can't do it, you need to go check out Dana, because I know she suggests sweaters and She's just the bomb. And if you don't know who Dana is, I will put her Instagram user ID in the down bar because I call her the sweater whisperer. She's the bomb. So at any rate, that was my first thing in the mail. If you are interested in socks, check it out. Field Guide number 11. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate it. Okay, so the other thing I got in the mail is a book titled Big Yarn, Beautiful Lace Knits, 20 Shawls, Hats, Ponchos, and More in Bulky Yarn by Barbara Benson. So if you have been a GG fan for longer than the here and now, you'll know when I started out with knitting, it was all about the bulky yarn. The bulkier the better, simply because instant gratification, 1. 2, that lack of self-confidence. You know how I like to say, whoo, Lord, excuse me, guys. Power surge, power surge. Ooh, when you are a woman of a certain age. Anyway, you know how I like to say that I'm not a real knitter, right? In my mind, knitting with bulky yarn somehow separated me from those that knit with finger. I don't know. That was me. Self-talk. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. So at any rate, this designer reached out to me because I am a fan of bulky yarn, and I have made shawls, and you know, I just was a fan. You know, the bulkier the better. So she wanted to share her new book with me, and there's 20 patterns in here. It retails for $24.99, $24.95. So right there, it pays for itself, because nowadays a pattern is going to run you anywhere from $6 to $10. So is worth the price. There. You have, I see mitts in here, shawls. So I think this is like, this would be the perfect book for like a beginner that wanted to try things, because like my first attempt at lace was on something bulky, and you know, I wasn't so intimidated with versus doing lace on really like on lace weight yarn, not having it. Right? Some of my first shawls was bulky yarn, right? So you still get the technique, you still get the shapes, but I think that bulky yarn gives you a little bit more confidence because you have something tangible quicker, right? And I think if you can produce something, you know, there's some charts in here, so you'll get to practice with reading charts. You even have some like just basic scarves with lovely texture. And if I haven't said that before, I am a big fan. I love texture. I love, nothing beats a good old stockinette stitch. Let's say that, right? But I love texture. So there are some really nice patterns in here. Very nice. You have throws in here, hats in here, male and female, lovely wraps, mitts. You know, if you are a fingerless mitt person, there's some nice fingerless mitts in there with business on the back. So there's a poncho kind of thing in here, and if you guys know me, I love a poncho. Love a poncho. So something like that, right? This time of year, you could do a bulky. Is this bulky? Yeah, it's Spud and Chloe outer. So it's organic cotton, right? So this, right, you can wear for the spring and the fall, right? Nice breezy colors. So very nice, very nice. Oh, I like that hat. I like that. Can you see it in orange? Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. So thank you. Thank you, Barbara. I'm going to go through this in more detail and write up a blog post to talk about this book. But this was something else I got in the mail. And again, so it's shawls, hats, and ponchos, all things I think are beginner friendly, especially when you're doing it on bulky yarn, because instant gratification. So great job, Barbara. I will have to check. I don't know when this goes on sale or if it's available. I'll get that information and share it. But thank you for sharing with me, Barbara. So the other thing was a purchase from She Illustrates, and it's a enamel pen. I think I'm going to get Paige to make me one of them frames that I can, those cork frames to put all my pens in, because I'm running out of places to put them. But look, this says, mind your business, not my body. Can you guys see that? Mind your business, not my body. And this is by She Illustrates. And I love it. And I had to support. So she is now. And I have another pen by her. I think it's just a silhouette of a woman. But I do have another. And now this was, oh, that's a card for Shelby, so I'm not going to open this. So this has a card. This looks like it's just a gift. Oh, yes, yes. This is from one of my buddies on Instagram. So Christina. So this is the front of the card. And the card says, Gay, my favorite orange sparkle skein to help enable your soon-to-be sock knitting edition. If it doesn't work out, there are always shawls. I really want to thank you for all the love and strength I get from your videos and your posts every day. Just when I start to doubt myself or whenever I am low, you have just the right words. You inspire me and I learn so much, even though I have never met you. I love you. I love you too. It's because you are brave enough to share so much that I feel I know you. Just thank you so much. I hope all is well with you and that you are okay. My life is better because of you and Shelby. This is the part I'm never prepared for, guys. I'm never prepared for. So there's a nice little wrap with the orange bow, of course. And let's see what this goodie. So maybe this is what I'll use for my socks. We shall see. But this is beautiful, Christina. This is such lovely fall shades. Now, I'm not a big sparkle person, but this is pretty. This is so pretty. Thank you, lady. Thank you. Thank you. And you know, she says something that I get a lot. I often get notes from folks that'll say that they can understand, or I verbalize exactly how they feel, or, you know, I was brave enough to share, you know, my challenges with grieving. And there's so many others that are out there that can relate, that struggle as well, right? So sometimes you just need, you connect to those that can relate. Does that make sense? Like people that can feel you, for lack of better words, or understand where your pain comes from. So, Christina, you are so welcome. Know that Shelby and I both adore you. I will give Shelby her card. She is, I think she went back to sleep, but I will give her your card. And thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, now we're going to talk about the Franca. Here we are. Y'all ready? Let's talk about Franca. So let's talk about the Franca. We got to talk about the Franca. So I am going to get my child up and see if I can get some full-length shots for you guys, because ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, knitters, non-knitters, GGmadeit fans near and far, people, gather round because we got pockets. We got pockets, people. Everybody calm down. We have pockets. Do, do, do you see? Do you see? We got pockets, baby. We got pockets. So, as I did last week, I am going to give you some vlog footage, if you will. You know, I did stick to taking little clips each night. It wasn't each night, every other night, to let you know my progress. But as I said to you guys, I was getting up to the point where it was like, you know, increase and make pockets. And I was like, I can't, excuse me, I can't do that. That's going to be hard. In my head, was not so doable. I mean, even to the point where, you know, I'm fancy because I've decided after trying it on and where it falls at my hips, the coverage over the twins and just the way that it lays it, I'm not increasing anymore. So I'm modifying a bit. I'm not going to increase anymore. What I am going to do, that is, I'm on my 4th skein of yarn and I have 9, right? So Lola Bean Yarn Company yarn does not go to waste. There is no thing as leftovers. So I think I'm going to get to the length that it's supposed to be, which I believe is right above my knees. And then I'm going to hold those stitches and I'm going to do my sleeves. And I'm going to do my sleeves 2 at a time because you guys know Lazy is my middle name. I confess I am the CEO and Chief Operating Officer of Team Lazy. I'm not, no. So I have a long enough cable that I can work these sleeves 2 at a time, right? So we're going to get off Sleeve Island. We are not going to let that hold us back. So we're going to do that 2 at a time. So my plan is get the sweater to the length that it's supposed to be. That's designed by the pattern. Do my sweater, do my sleeves and make sure that part is done because I don't do well with yarn chicken. I get palpitations. So I need to know that I have, you know, my sleeves are cared for. And I think I have more than enough, but this is my plan to keep me sane. So I'm going to do my sleeves. And once my sleeves are finished, then I am just going to keep going until I run out of yarn. So this might be similar to my Tallulah, where it is longer than the pattern calls for, because I've done all of my business, if you will. The pockets are done. I'm satisfied with the increases. I think it was looking for maybe, I think I might have needed to do 2 or 3 more increases, but I'm really comfortable with where it hits on my hips, you know, the room that I have in it. I don't want it to be too roomy because I'm roomy enough by myself. So I'm not increasing anymore. It's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So it might be a little longer than design, which is fine, right? But I am so happy. So I said this before, I'll say it again. First time for pockets for me. Not sure what I expected as far as the technique, but it was fairly simple and it looks pretty. Did I show you? But okay. In case the people in the back ain't see. In case the people in the back ain't see. People, we have pockets. People, we have pockets. So now I'm just really going back and forth to build the length into the sweater. But I love how this is kind of just built in as you're knitting. And you do the first pocket, knit over to the other side, do the other pocket. When you're coming back, you reinforce it, and then you just keep rocking and rolling. And I am so happy. I even seamed them up already because I believe in the finishing at the end, she tells you to close up all the openings, but I have a pocket. Okay. So I'm also going to share footage because everybody knows that this yarn is from Lola Bean Yarn Company. The owner is Adela, who I fondly refer to as that damn international Della. And you may know, may not, but this was her exclusive colorway for Stitches United that took place in Atlanta beginning of June, right? End of May, beginning of June. So, you know, when dyers do exclusive colors, that's it. If you didn't get it where it was intended to be sold, that's it, right? So I did a little video of me knitting. I'll include it in here on Instagram. That probably has the most views that I've ever had on one of my little clips that I put on Instagram. Like, I'm so proud. Like, it's almost to 10,000 views, and I'm so proud. However, because of that video, it's been shared a few times. Knit Inspiration shared it, and they have a huge audience, like over 100,000 followers. So they shared it, which introduced new people to me who may or may not have known about Adela. So everybody's like, I need that yarn. Where can I get that yarn? Where can I get that yarn? And I'm like, it's from Lola Bean Yarn Company, but I don't think you can buy it. Let me tell you why I refer to her as Damn Della, because she's a boss. She's a boss. She reached out to me. Now, let me just slow back and go back a little bit. Originally, she said to me as I was making it and doing progress shots and such, she was like, Gigi, she said, the people are going to drive me crazy. I already know it. So before you put up your final pictures, when you finish it, let me know. And what I'll do is I'll put up a listing when you finish, and you know, I'll put up a pre-sale, and I will, you know, I'll dye up some more because I know the people. Well, since that video has been going bonkers, because if it's almost 10,000 views on my Instagram, and then the last time that I looked at Knit Inspiration, it was over 25,000 views. So the people, they inboxing her, they emailing her. She was like, I don't even have to look at your page to know that you posted, because I get new followers. I get inundated with messages. That yarn that Gigi's using, which I love. I love that it sends business her way. I love that. However, why I'm saying she's a boss, because she has opened up a pre-sale for the Georgia Peach in 11 different bases. So if you were one of them, Gigi, I got to get my hands on that yarn. I will put the link below, because she was gracious enough to open up. The only kicker is, because she is that damn international Adela, she is busy. So these won't go out until the end of August, but you can get your bid in to purchase if you're interested. I'll leave that information. So again, I say to you guys, Coco Knits, the sweater workshop, love it. So this is my third project from that book, and I am pleased. I'm not even finished with this one yet, but I am super duper pleased with this whole technique. Like I said, I've learned new things. This one is the pockets. I've learned prior, when I did it before, the way that she picks up stitches was new for me. Even the increases and the decreases that she does was new for me. And the one that I had to do short rows, it was a way that I had never done before. So to me, not only do I look for a pattern to provide me with a fabulous finished object, but I like if my skills can be enhanced as well. And every time my skills are enhanced. So listen, at the rate I'm going, we might have us a full finished sweater. Nah, I don't know. I got to do sleeves. I don't know. But I am chucking along very well. Like I said, I will go outside and get some full-length pictures for you guys so you can see. It's like right about at my hip, I guess, now. And I couldn't be more happy. So that was my week, guys. That was my week. Um, like I say every week, thank you for being here. And I've seen quite a few new followers. Um, my last video clearly touched a couple of folks. They weren't pleased with um, my decision, and that's their option, and I'm okay with that. But on the flip side of that, a whole bunch of new folks found me. Whole bunch of new folks decided to subscribe. So hey, welcome, 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 welcome. I do upload once a week, and that's pretty much what I have this week, guys. I'm going to share some footage because Adela and I went live to explain to everyone that the listing was available and you can pre-order. And we went to carrying on about what kind of hashtags, and they was teasing me because I was like, oh, I need to get some good artistic pictures of this pocket. So they was like pocket porn, pockets on purpose, hashtag. So we had a good time. So I will share that with you guys too. If you're not following me on Instagram, I'll put a few clips in from that. But that's where we are. Odds are I'm probably gonna have to get a new car. I'm thinking they're gonna total it. So that's the next challenge, if you will. But it'll work out. It'll work out. I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason and all things unfold exactly as they should. You are where you are exactly when you should be there. So I take what I need from this experience and leave the rest behind. And I am going to continue to work on being okay on purpose. But this was a good week. This was a good week. And it was topped off with, I laughed so hard yesterday, my throat was hurting. Oh, so we had, I was talking about Dana earlier. How could I forget that? 4th of July, we spent 4th of July with Felicia and her family. Felicia is the owner of Socializing Studio. She was kind enough to invite us to her holiday barbecue. So we did that. We had a good time. It was mostly her husband's employees, but there was a small group of us knitters, if you will, or her fiber family, I like to refer to us. So it was a really good time. And then Friday, because Felicia has been away, Friday is knit night in Socializing Studio. So we haven't had knit night for a couple of weeks because Felicia was away. Well, Dana, which is Call Me DMJ on Instagram, and who I also refer to as the Sweater Whisperer, was in town, and I have been dying to meet her. So we went back over Friday to do knit night. I got to meet Dana, sit and hang out with her. You know, the shop was popping. Everybody was so hungry for a knit night. Gregory Stitch was there. Lewis Brooklyn Boy Knits was there. Shamika was there. Marsh was there. It was just a cool crowd, as always. We knit, we eat. You know, they drink. You know, the wine is flowing, and the fellowship is hopping. So it's always a very diverse crowd, a very talented crowd, a very welcoming crowd, and that's because of the environment that Felicia sets. She, if you ever find yourself in Brooklyn, make your way to Socializing Studio. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. So with that, I am going to say so long for now, for this week. I will see you guys next Sunday with whatever update I have with my sweater, because I'm going to spend the rest of this afternoon knitting, and that's all I have. So I'm going to add some footage and try to get some full-length shots for you guys so you can see. And that's it. Everybody, say it with me. Have a fabulous week. What? On purpose. On purpose. Make that in your intent. Be intentional and have a good week. Don't let anything get in your path. Don't let people upset you. Like, take it apart. Because, like, I've had something that was upsetting happen this week. I forgot about that. But because I decided on purpose that I'm aware, but I'm not bothered, right? I saw that meme and I was like, that's it, right? So people that still stay in your circle, right? They want to be in your presence, but they don't mean you any well, or they don't sincerely wish you well, right? It's okay. There's no reason for you to act otherwise. I always say, you cannot goat me into an argument. It's not going to happen. I know who I am. I know what I believe in. And that's just that, right? So it hurt my feelings. It hurt my feelings. I'm going to say that. It hurt my feelings. However, this is expensive real estate. I don't rent this out for free. I don't give away space here or here for free, right? So I'm aware and I just keep moving. That's what I mean by on purpose. I'm not going to stop doing what I do. I'm going to continue to be me on purpose, right? So I'm going to leave you guys for this week. I will see you all next week. And I'm just gonna, wait, let's go on this side. One more time for the road. One more time for the road. We have pockets. Everybody have fabulous week on purpose. What day is this? Day 10. Day 10, guys, and I am moving right along. There's some shaping for the waist. I just did that. So now I have to do a couple more inches. And now it's going to start to get tricky. So here's where I'm going to need you guys send some juju my way, because I got to go just regular couple more inches. And then I have to increase for the hips as well as prepare for the pockets. Pockets are new for me, guys. Pockets are new. So this is why I love this technique, because it tells you read ahead, because you're going to have to do the next section at the same time. So I just decreased for the waist. So I guess I'm going to be increasing for the hips as well as prepping for the pockets at the same damn time. So I think I'm going to do some more straight knitting tonight. What time is it? Almost 10:30. So I'm going to do some straight knitting tonight. Put another inch or so on this. So I think I have to go another 2 or 3 inches before I start doing the craziness together at the same time. But if you've been watching, there was a hole back here. I seamed that up last night. So my collar is good to go, because it tells you to do that at the end. And I see a little hole here that I can close. But I got yarn hanging from there. I can make that tighter. I can close that up. So I seamed the hole that's in the back. So this is, for those that have been following, here's where my mistake is. There shouldn't have been a seam in here. Had I done this Judy's Magic cast on properly, this would have been seamless. But because it's in the back of me, it's not the end of the world. So the next time I need to pay attention to where I start knitting, because I think that's where I messed up. That's why I created a seam when it shouldn't have. But we are cooking with gas, people. We are cooking with gas. So day 10, I will come back. I don't know if I'm going to do it every day this time, because it's going to start getting boring. But when I definitely get to the pocket business, I'll be back. I'll be back. So I'm still happy. I'm still happy. Still happy. Still happy. Another thing I want to address is I always get the question, how often do I knit, or how many hours do I knit a day? So I work from home for the most part, and which means odds are I don't knit at all during the day. I just don't have the bandwidth for it. If I put my work down and pick up the knitting, the work's not going to get done. So usually after Shelby and I have dinner, so it's like 10:30 now, and I probably sat down and dedicated myself to just doing some knitting about 8 o'clock. So I think it's safe to say probably about 2 to 3 hours a night. I mean, if it's a night and I can't sleep, odds are I'll knit a little longer than that. But I usually try to lay down, or at least stop knitting by 11, because if I get past midnight, that's like well, I might as well keep going stage. So I try to make sure that I don't let 11 o'clock catch me, because if 11 o'clock catches me, it's no stopping me at that point. I'll look up and it's easily 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, But that's the answer to that question, because I get that one often, like, how many hours do I knit a day? But you guys have to realize, those that I guess compare themselves to how much knitting I do versus what they do, you have to keep in mind, I don't have little people. My baby is 25, and then there's Gunner. I don't, and I don't have a husband, so I don't, all those other things that the average person, this my man, this my love. So that's why I get to spend so much time knitting, where the average may not possibly have that much time. So stop comparing and stop thinking that you're falling short because you can't knit. Think about the other way. You have a life. You have things to do. I don't have much to keep me occupied, so this is my company. And I love it. But I know a lot of people will say to me, oh my God, Gigi, I wish I could get as much done. When you got a household to run, you got a husband to take care of, you got little people to manage, it's hard. I can't imagine doing as much as I do if I had all of those things. So that's for those that always ask that question. I need you to back off yourself. You knit as much as you can, and that's fine. Day 10. I will talk to you guys in a day or so. I don't think, I'm not going to stay awake to do the 2 to 3 inches that I need to put, because now I'm measuring from underneath the armhole here. So I need to get, 6 or 7 inches or something like that underneath this armhole. So I got a ways to go here. So it'll just be some basic stockinette back and forth before I start increasing again. So the set of increases take place over a couple of rows. So I set up another worksheet so that I can keep track and make sure I'm increasing, because I have to increase every couple of rows, and I got to do that 9 times. So this is perfect to keep track of that, where you should be increasing. And so yeah, this is coming. I mean, it is flowing. I really thought this was going to take me a tremendous amount of time to finish, but this Georgia peach is flying off my needles. So okay, that's all until we get to pockets. So, what is this, day 11? Yeah, it's day 11. And it is almost 5 p.m. And I'm in the car waiting for Shelby. So now is when I start my knitting. So I have to go home, and I still, unless Shelby decides to stop somewhere on the way home, but we still need to figure out what dinner looks like. So if that means I'm cooking, then that halts this for a while until dinner is done and all that stuff. And then I pick up again. So a couple hours in a day. Couple hours in a day. So I haven't touched this since I last was with you guys at, it was close to 11 p.m. at that point, I believe. And this is the first time that I'm touching it. So I have about 15 minutes to sit here to wait for the kid. And I always try to maximize my time. So if I'm not knitting, I am either checking email, or I'm checking social media, or I'm responding to YouTube or something. Sometimes I'll sit here and I'll write a blog post on my phone. And then I do all the editing and pretty, making it pretty once I get in the house. Or I watch like a YouTube, like I just watched the YouTube that I learned some new tricks that I can utilize in my stories on Instagram. So I try to not waste time and keep my mind occupied at the same time, if that makes sense. So that's where we are. I need to put a couple of inches on this before any more shaping happens. So that's the deal. And if under the arm gives you any idea of how far I've gone. So that's where this hole is for the arm. So I've gone a pretty decent amount. Now that I looked at that, actually, I need to measure, because I think I need to be at 6 inches, and I don't have anything with me. Ooh, I could use the measuring option on my phone. I can do that, and I'm going to do that to make sure that I didn't go past where I'm supposed to be. Because I think I start, I'm going to have to stop till I get home, because I didn't bring the book with me. And if I am at 6 inches, now some things need to change. I need to start decreasing. I think I decreased before and after the stitch marker. Or increasing. No, increasing. I got to start increasing. So I think that's it for today. I don't know that I will come back tonight. I may. If I make some significant progress tonight, I'll come back. I'm pooped, but it is day 12. And baby, we have a pocket. And we are working on the second pocket. I am so proud, but I'm sleepy, so I'm going to stop so I don't make a mess. But it don't look like nothing right now, but I got a pocket. So it is almost 11 p.m. on 4th of July. I hope that whatever you did today, you enjoyed yourself, you were safe. I was invited to a barbecue, and it was fabulous. Had a good time, good people, some friends just turn into more than friends. So it was good in that respect. but I'm tired. But I had to come and tell you guys, I got pockets, pockets, pockets. I got pockets. Well, one, I'll have two when I finish. But I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So I went forward in the pattern. So once I do these pockets, then it's really just smooth sailing. So So it's Friday night. It's midnight at String Thing. We haven't been here for a while because Felicia has been closed the last couple of Fridays. She was on vacation, and it is packed in here. So I'm going to turn the camera around, and then Dana is here. So
this is not.
No, I don't think it's great. Oh, you got two dogs.
I'm going to move this.
Then
I got a second. I had shingles, and which went right away. And the medicine, I was allergic to the medicine. So I got
You are spilling on me.
I am. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. You want to have pie?
So guys, here we are at day 14. I believe this is day 14. And we have pockets, people. We have pockets. I am happy. I don't know what else to say besides I'm just super pleased. So day 14, pockets are done. So now I'm just working at length at this point. The pattern calls for some waist shaping, and I don't think I'm going to increase anymore because I like the way it falls. I like where it is as far as where it fits over the twins, kind of where it falls, and I think now I'm just going for length. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Wait, did you see the pockets? I got pockets. Yeah, I do. This is my first time, and I'm so proud. I'm going to bed now. But who has pockets? Who has pockets? That would be me. Who has pockets? Georgia Peach, Georgia Peach. What y'all know about Georgia Peach? Georgia Peach, Georgia Peach. What y'all know about Georgia Peach? Georgia Peach. Excuse me, pockets. On purpose.